Well, hi Libras, welcome to Universal Guidance. It's time for What is X Thinking? Well, let's find out. I have shuffled these cards very well. I'm going to shuffle them a few more times. That one was a little stubborn. And we are going to take a look and let's see what your X's are thinking. This is a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be in the middle of the first part of the reading. Let's get started. For Libras, what are your X's thinking? For Libras, what are your X's thinking? So in these what are your X's thinking readings, the top line is your energy. The middle line is both your energies, and the bottom line is their energy. So let's get started. The overall energy of this reading is the Hermit. This is the card for Virgo. Virgo might be strong in your chart or strong in someone else's chart around this reading. But this is mostly about shining that lantern in front of you, trying to seek your path forward. This is reaching out to the universe and asking for guidance, like, how do I move forward? Well, I always like to look around the Hermit, because I feel like when this card comes out, they're really trying to point out a few things. So we will get there when we get there. We have the Queen of Wands in your highest energy, Libra. You are ready for a fresh start and a new beginning here. The wand, the staff, a new beginnings. You have a love of garden. It feels like spring is here. Spring is in the air with this card, with this flower, this sunflower. We have you probably love animals or pets. This is for male or female. You might have fire in your chart. Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries might be strong in your chart or around this reading. But this is your highest energy card, Libras. So you're ready to move forward. You hold the staff of new beginnings, fresh starts, moving forward. It's right next to the Four of Cups. So the Four Cups is, I feel like whoever this was, this X that we're talking about, has tried to come back. And you're not letting them. You're not letting them in. I think you're ready to move forward on your own without the X. This is part of your path forward. This is part of what you've reached out to the universe about is, should I accept that cup or not? I don't feel like I should. Well, if you don't feel like you should, don't. Okay, I think that's what they're saying. Next to the Four of Cups is the Wheel of Fortune. You are moving forward. You have that staff of fresh starts and new beginnings. You are moving forward. The universe has been like whispering in your ear, nudging you on the back, and trying to give you a little push forward. This is all for your better, for your fortune. It's all for your best. This is a new life cycle coming in without the X. Even though it looks like they try to come back somehow, and you're like, no, been there, done that. I don't really want to do that again. So under the Queen of Wands is the Chariot. So I read the Chariot in your energy. This is moving forward. You have the Wheel of Fortune and you have the Chariot. Chariot's moving forward pretty fast. This is the card for Cancer. Cancer might be strong in your chart or around this reading someplace. The Hermit, the universe is actually shining the lantern on this. So if you're wondering what you're going to be doing, you're moving forward. You're moving forward, and you're moving forward away from this energy, because this is on the back side of the Hermit, and it's right above the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like you are moving forward from this energy of the Emperor. Now, male or female, this card is the card for Aries. So again, we have fire sign here, and now we have Aries. But it doesn't have to be Aries. It could be anybody. But the energy that they carry is pretty stubborn. They're like way or the highway, and a lot of times they like being a leader. They like things to be their idea. They even hold a job in that kind of field of leading people, a manager or an owner of a company, or just somebody who gets to present their ideas and kind of have a little bit of control over. They like to have control. The emperor. Sometimes they can be narcissistic. I really don't see that so far, but they could have a little bit of that kind of in them, within them. Um, the emperor, they sit on that granite throne. They hold that staff there, and it's like they like to dominate. And so the emperor is what you're moving forward from. And you're moving forward pretty fast. You're not letting the emperor come back in. You're not letting them. Sometimes they can be a little manipulative because they just think of their own needs and they forget to think about how they affect others, other people's lives, because they're so concerned about hanging on to their power here. But you're moving forward, Wheel of Fortune. You got the Chariot here, and the Hermit is shining the light right on the Chariot. You're going to move right past this person, and I think they try to come back into your life. Under the Chariot, we're in their energy now. The King of Pentacles. So they're looking at this pentacle here. This is possible Earth energy, male or female, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Might be strong in your chart, might be strong in their chart. But it's mostly about this security and stability here. I feel like they have it. They're very confident that if they want to offer it, they will. It's that kind of energy I get from it, especially since the Emperor's here. They want to offer that pentacle, they will, and they didn't want to. Okay, they want to hang on to it, and they want to keep hanging on to it for a while. They're moving forward too. They got the Chariot right above. Looking at that pentacle, looking at security and stability, not something that they want to really hand out, okay? So they are going to move forward. They've also sought, their path forward from the universe, having the Hermit surround the whole reading. They are feeling lonely. They're feeling like sorry, maybe, for themselves in a way. They might be they're missing you. That's why they try to come back. They are missing you, but I don't think they're missing you for the right reasons. It kind of feels like they're missing you just because they don't like being alone, but yet they're not really willing to offer this pentacle. Now let me continue this reading. They may be willing to offer that pentacle. They might come around, but so far I don't see you accepting their cup. I don't see you accepting them coming back. This is on their mind, I think, when they do come back. Like, maybe I can offer this pentacle here. They do miss you. They are feeling lonely and kind of, especially when you turn down them coming back, kind of rejected. It's right next to the Page of Swords, this Five of Pentacles. And this Page of Swords is right under the Emperor. So they're on guard. They're on guard about being lonely. They're on guard about being rejected. They want to resolve this issue of this feeling. That's not a good feeling for them. They don't like it. They're not used to it, for one thing. And, it almost feels like with this Page of Swords under the Emperor, this stubborn energy here that the Emperor carries, it's almost like they're deciding maybe they don't want to be that stubborn. Maybe they're trying like not to be so rigid in their thinking here, because they're not liking this being alone here. And they really have tried to seek their path forward, and they really are looking at security and stability. Now, I don't think they were ready to hand it out, but I'm kind of starting to get this feeling that being alone for a while, they're starting to realize that they don't like this so much. Let me take out the second half of this reading. Let's see where this reading goes. What is X thinking for Libras, please, universe? What is X thinking? These? Those are your energy. Both your energies. Okay. Up here in your highest energy, the Tower. This is the breakup. You're going to be moving past that. The universe is kind of just, taking you along. Let's move past that. Got to move you forward. This Tower moment that you had with your ex. That Tower is sitting right next to the Two of Wands. This is you. You have the whole world in your hands. And this is what you're going to realize here. And this is why you reached out to the universe. Because You do have the whole world in your hands, and you know it, okay? You're just not sure about what direction to go right here. So you've sought advice from the universe. The Hermit is here. And they're saying, don't worry, you are going to be moving forward. And you are going to be moving forward for your best interest here. And right next to the Two of Wands is the Death card. The end of the old. So the end of the old ways, the old life, and the beginning of a new period in your life. Well, we already know that. We have the Wheel of Fortune here. Okay, you're entering a new life cycle. So the end of the old, beginning of the new, this is the card for Scorpio. So you're ready for this new cycle to come in. And you're moving forward, and you're going to leave the old ways behind. Now that might be part of why you refuse this cup up here from your ex, because you're feeling like it's going to be the same old thing, and you don't want the same old thing back. So things are changing though, and a lot of it has to do with you and what you're doing in your life. Card for Scorpio. Scorpio might be strong in your chart, might be strong in someone else's chart around this reading. But under the Tower card, I like to point out, in your highest energy is the Ace of Pentacles. You need a secure and stable relationship. You need one that's grounded. You might have even wanted a ring out of this, a commitment. It's pretty close to the Emperor. Now remember, they're looking at that. They're looking at that pentacle. Okay? So they haven't forgotten. They know what you want, what you desire from this relationship. But in your energy, this is something you're not going to settle for less. You're like, you can't offer me the security and stability that I so much desire in a long-term relationship, that you're just going to have to move on. You have healing to do about this. You're not going to be able to move forward until you heal over this Tower moment and this, the realization that they were not willing to hand out stability and security in this relationship. So this Four of Swords is right next to Ace of Pentacles. It's under the Two of Wands, and this is about healing. You're healing over this whole Tower moment. You're healing over what went down in this relationship. You're spending time alone. You are resting. You're praying. You're seeking advice from the universe. It's a very spiritual card. Look at the stained glass windows in that card. So yeah, and we already know, the Hermit's a very spiritual card too, and the Hermit surrounds the whole reading. So you're like, please help me to move in the right direction in order to find security and stability in my life. You're healing over the walking away. I'm really not sure which one of you walked away, but it was a Tower moment. All this is about the Tower moment and moving forward and realizing that you have the whole world in your hands. You know what you want, and it just wasn't coming to fruition in this past relationship. This walking away is something you're moving forward from, is that energy of the walking away. You're healing from it. You're healing from the whole idea of expecting a commitment from the ex, but you are healing, and you have the whole world in your hands, and you are ready to move forward. Matter of fact, there's nothing you can do about it because the Wheel of Fortune is here, and they're not going to, you can't stop it. It's a force beyond your control, and it's always for your fortune, so remember that, for your better. Now, under the Ace of Pentacles here, we're into their energy. Now, look at, and close as it is to them, I told you they haven't forgotten about what you want out of this relationship. You want commitment. Well, this Page of Swords, remember I think they're thinking about changing their ways and not being so stubborn. They're not liking being on their own. They don't like the feeling of rejection, and they are looking at that pentacle here. Well, it seems to me, looky there, the Eight of Pentacles, I think they're thinking that they want to work on this relationship. Do you take them back or not? I think that's when they return with this cup. You don't really look at it. you're going to move forward. You're thinking, no, it's just going to be the same old. Now, this might not be the first time that you've gone through this with them, but it feels sincere now. Okay, it's really starting to feel like they know, you don't know what you got till it's gone, that type of feeling. And they're starting to embrace your energy even more by being away. They're going through this period of healing too, just like you are. This actually, theirs is really deep too, because it's this star card is right below the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords, like I said, is about spending time on your own, thinking, healing, praying, seeking advice from the universe. There's a lot of healing going on. Time alone. Time alone. They don't like that. So I have the star card under that. They might have Aquarius in their chart someplace, or you might have strong Aquarius in your chart. But they're healing, and they're healing right down to their bare bones. They're taking a hard look at themselves. I feel like they're discovering things about themselves. Like I said, they want to maybe not be so stubborn anymore, that maybe they want to lighten up a little bit. This is looking at their own reflection in that pool of water and just realizing who they are. What is important to them? What do they want? What do they don't want? What they're all about and what they want to be all about. It's very spiritual again. Card of Aquarius. Very spiritual here with all those stars. This is a beautiful card. And so what they're thinking is, am I willing to work on this relationship? But I have the Knight of Swords right next to the star card. There's a delay going on here. It's right under the walking away. So this is a pretty fierce card. This is like one of the fiercest in the deck. The Knight of Swords, rushing in with that sword. Willing to cut out anything they have to along the path in order to get to where they want to go. I think that this healing, this star card here, they're kind of blocking that. They're like, I don't want to go through this. Excuse me. I don't want to think about working on this relationship. They don't want to, but they find themselves doing that. You see what I'm saying? So this time alone, I'm surprised that the Judgment card isn't here for them. But they're trying to fight this walking away energy, looking back at it. They're trying to fight the actual healing and taking a hard look at themselves. They're trying not to. But with this card here, they are. They're really, the universe is funny because it's like they don't want to. The last thing that they would expect from themselves is that they had flaws, okay, that they had to deal with. Well, they're in this place right now of trying not to realize what they're about, what they should be all about. They have spent a lot of time alone. They are trying to heal, with the universe. They are seeking guidance and praying and meditating. But as far as looking at themselves, that's a really hard thing for them to do. But their mind is like wandering into this place of working it out with you. Look at these pentacles now. And coming back and making you an offer. They have not have done that yet. They still be just thinking about it, and they're just afraid. They be just afraid that you will turn them down. But you, on the other hand, you're moving forward no matter what happens here. So they want to spend all their time just trying not to heal and trying not to take a look at themselves. You will move forward anyway. If they do, this is just, a weekly reading. I mean, they can go out a few months, but what's showing up right now is they're really kind of blocking. They're more fierce at blocking, taking a look at themselves than they are here about not wanting to be lonely, thinking that they might want to make a commitment, and thinking that maybe they shouldn't be so stubborn. But there's a lot more to this than just being stubborn. There's a lot more to them, and I think they need to realize that maybe it almost feels like they don't have the faith in themselves to be able to carry out a relationship for the long haul. And so I think that maybe is why they're cutting out this healing card here of the star, which is really important in your energy. So Libra, this was your reading for what is X thinking, and thank you for watching Universal Guidance.